Across the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the booming heavens roar.
What were you the god of again?
Thunder, 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 thunder,
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder.
The god of thunder, mighty Thor!
Hey guys, it's another Thorsday, and it's been a while because I started school and it's been busy, but that's not the point, so let's just get on with the thing. So the review ban has been lifted for Thor Ragnarok. I haven't seen it yet because I don't have anything special about me. But the review ban has been lifted, and I wanted to talk about the reviews that I've seen on Rotten Tomatoes and what its score is. It's currently at 100%, which is awesome, but there's only 30 reviews, which is actually quite a bit, though. A lot of times when you see 100%, there's like 15 maybe, but this is like double that, so it's got a good chance of staying there, surprisingly. I don't think it will. I think it'll come about 95% or so. At least I hope it'll stay in the 90s because I'm excited. But I wanted to, because I don't think looking at the tomato score is quite right to do, like, because people just go, they look at the tomato score, or, you know, the tomato meter, and go, oh, it's a high percentage, so it must be good. But I don't usually agree with it entirely, but I read reviews that are on here. I like to read the negative ones, but I like to read the positive ones because you'll always get truth in there. You always get facts of what the movie does well and what the movie doesn't do well based on these reviews, because people always talk about what they liked and what they didn't like and all of them. And sometimes what people do like, I don't think is a good thing. Like Star Wars The Force Awakens is like, I think 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's that great of a film. I think it's okay. I don't think it's awesome or amazing or that much. But I read the reviews beforehand, and I knew I wasn't going to love it as much as they did, because a lot of them said it reused a lot of things from the original trilogy, or mostly from A New Hope, and it did do those things. So they happen to like that, and that's fine. But I don't like it when they do things like that. But you can always find something. You can find out whether or not you're going to enjoy the movie a lot of times based on that. So anyways, I'm going to talk about some of the reviews, just read some of them, or some of the little highlights of them. But its average rating is 7.7 out of 10, so it's 100%, but it's not a 10 out of 10 film, according to most, the average. There are 30 reviews, like I said, all of them positive, and here's what the consensus is. It says, exciting, funny, and above all, fun. Thor Ragnarok is a colorful, cosmic adventure that sets a new standard for its franchise and the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's very good. That's amazing. Sets a standard for the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that is some high words, because they've been some good movies in the Cinematic Universe. So I'm not going to read all 30 of them, but I will look at like top critics, and I'll tell you who it is and what they write for when I read just these little parts. I'm not going to read their full reviews, just little segments they have on Rotten Tomatoes. So let's look at the first one, which is by Alonso Duralde. I hope I'm saying that right, who writes for The Wrap. I honestly don't know what that is. I feel bad about it. But anyways, whatever. He says, both the banter and the fighting, it should be noted, are excellent. So whether you go to superhero movies for the glossy escapism or the pulse-pounding action, you'll get your large soda's worth. Sounds fun. Next is Brian Truitt from USA Today, and he says, even tonal issues can't upend the magic this movie taps into putting Thor and Hulk together as a new best buddies, whether they're throwing down in an arena or having a romantic heart-to-heart. So it sounds fun. It sounds like it's got some tonal issues, like maybe it's gonna be too lighthearted. Maybe there are scenes that feel like they should have weight and they're gonna be a little too lighthearted, which sounds about right. And that doesn't bother me personally too much, because I think a lot of the Ragnarok story in the comics is very serious and dark in the comics, but it's also a little absurd there's some things in that story that are very hard to take seriously in a live action setting. At least I think they'd be hard to take seriously in a live action setting. So I can understand why they took the lighthearted take on it, because there's some things in that story that are so outlandish, crazy, over the top. And yeah, it works really good in a comic, like, because comics are kind of cartoonish and stuff. I mean, they can be really serious and really good, but they're drawn, and the drawings don't look as out of place as they do live action. And that's something that was mentioned in there was a clip released where Thor's talking about his hammer, but to what's his name, Korg, I think, from Planet Hulk. It's been a while since I read Planet Hulk. But he's talking to him, and that whole scene is improvised. And they said that Taiki Waititi said that they improvised it. Actually, I think Chris Hemsworth said sorry, I forgot how to talk for a second. Improvised it on Jimmy Kimmel, I think it was. He discussed that it was because they were looking at these weapons and they realized how they looked great, drawn, but in real life they're kind of over the top and silly. So I think that makes sense. Chris Nashawati from Entertainment Weekly said Ragnarok is basically a joke delivery system, and on that score it works. The movie is fun. So it sounds like it's just going to be really fun. Sherry Linden from The Hollywood Reporter says, as it arrives poised for a megalithic box office haul, it might be helpful to keep in mind the advice offered by one character. You cannot stop Ragnarok. Why fight it? So basically, it sounds like they're saying it's amazing, it's going to crush the box office, and don't fight it. Just go in and enjoy it. So I'm excited. Peter Dubruge from Variety said, Thor Ragnarok is easily the best of the 3 Thor movies, or maybe I just think so because its screenwriters and I finally seem to agree on one thing. The Thor movies are preposterous. So that's what I was saying, is I think the comics are really, really good, and they can do that really seriousness because they're drawn, and there's a much different feeling when something's drawn than when it's live action. That's why I think a lot of anime doesn't work live action, and that's why I think a lot of live action remakes of movies don't work very well, because there are things that just, they work in a serious tone for the story, yes, but when you see it live action, you kind of see it and go, that's weird. And I get that. And I think that's why it's good that they did it with the joke stuff. Unless they wanted to up the budget to way higher and do a Lord of the Rings style Thor movie, which I think would be really cool. But they'd really have to go into Lord of the Rings, and they'd have to really step away from any kind of reality, which reality wouldn't be able to exist within that world, I don't think, to make it work in a film, like a live action film. I think because it's tied to the Avengers, and because it's tied to all that they need to make it a little bit more, they need to emphasize that there are things that are just preposterous in them, and I think it's true. Despite loving the Thor books and would love to see a really serious one, I don't think it would work tied into the Marvel Cinematic Universe entirely, without going crazy with a 3-hour-long crazy epic that would take tons of money and probably wouldn't make that much bank either. So I don't think it's a bad idea. Those are all the top reviewers. I'm gonna go into a couple of the other ones, just because. So let's go with BBC.com's Nicholas Barber, because I've never seen a review from BBC that I can think of, and it says, Thor Ragnarok is the wittiest and most straightforwardly enjoyable of Marvel's blockbusters. That sounds good. Jim Vejvoda from IGN Movies said, Thor Ragnarok is a lot of fun, but its heart belongs to Planet Hulk and not the realm whose existence is at stake. That sounds interesting. So it sounds like it's going to be very focused on Planet Hulk, based on that, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. Like I said, I'm gonna try to find a female reviewer on here, a woman, because I think it's good to have a bit of a, talk about the. I think we should know everybody. I guess I did read Sherry Linden's. She was the one that said it would to why fight it, just accept it. So let me see if I can find another though, because I think that would be smart. Because most of what I've read was men, and Linda Merrick. Okay, there we go. There's another. She writes for Hey You Guys. I don't know what that is. Sorry. But she says, let loose on the Marvel Universe, Waititi manages not only to keep the faithful happy, but also to bring his own brand of silliness to the proceedings without ever falling into predictable territory. So it sounds like, oh wow, she gave it 5 out of 5. Nice. That is wow. She really liked it. So that's cool. So it sounds like women are liking it, men are liking it. That's pretty cool. I'm surprised she gave it 5 out of 5. So she said it's not predictable at all, and that gets me real excited, honestly. That sounds very cool. Now, there's also an article on Thor Ragnarok that they did. Says Thor Ragnarok, Buzz, the funniest and most fun Marvel movie yet. So let me just give a quick look at this. So they say that we fans have a few more weeks, and the 2011 original was certified fresh with a 77% tomato meter. 2013's was 66%. It would be amusing if this went to 99%. That would kind of be amazing, or 88%. Either one. That would be hilarious. Actually be really cool. But they said Ragnarok could even wind up being the best reviewed of the Thor trilogy, which seems pretty likely, as critics are praising everything from the story, to the music, to the cast, to the humor. Everyone seems to have a different favorite thing about the movie, and a different favorite character or actor among the ensemble, whether it be the titular star, Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo as fellow Avenger the Hulk, villain, Kate Blanchett, or supporting players, Tessa Thompson or Jeff Goldblum. Here's what they have some praises that they wrote from different people. Carl Warner from People magazine that said Thor Ragnarok is so much fun, I almost can't take it. Eric Eisenberg says from Slash Film says Thor Ragnarok is a ton of fun, self-contained MCU plot, but character work is awesome and the adventure a thrill. Jenna Bush, Legion of Leia, says Thor Ragnarok was an absolute blast. Scott Mendelson, Forbes, says Thor Ragnarok is solid MCU fun, great music, looks, feels like an 80s video game, slight but wholly entertaining. Compared to the other Thor movies, everyone says the best of the Thor movies, the best Thor movie, definitely the best Thor movie. Thor Ragnarok, the best Thor movie, but I still think it's really good, not awesome. So, sounds like, let's see, the first person I said, or the last person, okay, was Jim Voivoda from IGN Movies, who I talked about earlier. He apparently didn't think it was awesome, but he says it's good, so that's good. On the humor, here's what some people said on the humor. Peter Scrietta, Slash Film person, a different Slash Film person. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Peter Scrietta. Alright, anyways, he says, Thor Ragnarok is one of the funniest Marvel Studios movies thus far. Jokes and characters are front and center to the action and drama. This will be the thing people either love or dislike about the film. I can see that. I can understand why somebody wouldn't like the humor in the film. I can understand that. I think it kind of needs it. But, that's what people think about that. Anyways, Jenna Bush, Legion of Leia, again, says, hysterical and seriously kick... curses. I don't want to curse. She also says, Taika Waititi is a riot. Haley Fouch Collider says, Thor Ragnarok is laugh-out-loud funny from start to finish. Stumbles a bit in the first act, but it triumphs when it gets weird with it. See? Because Ragnarok's a weird story. Just saying. Gregory Elwood from the playlist says, it may be divisive. I thought a lot was hilarious, if not too long, but felt like I was only one laughing at times. Now here's what people said of who owns the movie. Eric Eisenberg from Slash Film says, Hulk is once again the scene stealer, and a lot of it is that he can finally talk. Great to see him back on the big screen. Cara Warner, People magazine, says, the best. Kate Blanchett, scene stealing. Jeff Goldblum is Goldbluming. Kyle Buchanan, that's kind of cool. His name's Buchanan, like Bucky. Sorry. He writes for The Vulture. Says Kate Blanchett as the villainess may be the first actress to deliver her performance entirely in GIF. GIF. Does that mean something? What does that mean? I don't know what that means, unless it's talking about gifts, but I don't think it is. Anyways, he continues saying, take the fun Kate is having in Thor Ragnarok, double it, and you get the fun Tessa Thompson is having. Swaggiest superhero in ever? What? Sorry, I just thought that was weird wording. Greg Railwood, the playlist, says Tessa Thompson is hands down the best part of Thor Ragnarok. She rocks. Hope she's a new Avenger someday. Also, Kate Blanchett has fun. So it sounds like a lot of people are really liking Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, which is what I was a bit nervous about. I've seen a lot of complaints about, her race. That was never my problem. My only problem with her was she's a little small. Valkyrie was kind of big. But if she nails the role, I'm fine with it. I don't necessarily think she's the Valkyrie that we know from the comics. I think she's a different Valkyrie, but I don't know. That's like a theory thing. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm excited to. I've got an early ticket to see it Thursday night, and I will. I'm bringing my camera, and I'm going to film myself in the car immediately after I finish that movie. I just want everybody to know that, and it's going to be up that night. Everything unedited. I'm so excited. I'm beyond excited for this movie. There might even be an extra Thorsday tomorrow, which I know it's not Thursday, but yeah. Next is Haley Fouch from Collider, who says, all the new Thor Ragnarok characters are knockouts, but Tessa Thompson walks away with this movie. All hail Valkyrie. So like I said, it sounds like she's being loved a lot from these. Connor Schwerdfurger, Cinema Blend, says, after seeing Thor Ragnarok, I can say that Chris Hemsworth Thor will become many people's #1 favorite Avenger. The guy shines in this. Well, he's already my favorite Avenger. And that's it for that article. So that's really all that I had to look for. So if you want to still check out Rotten Tomatoes, you should. And I recommend reading the reviews. I don't recommend looking just at the tomato score and the consensus, because maybe you still won't like it. Maybe there are things that you don't like that other people do about films, like I was saying about Star Wars The Force Awakens. So I always like to check out Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm never like, oh, the rate, the score, the tomato meter. There are films that I love that have really low tomato meters, like The Wolfman from 2010. A lot of people say it's not very good and that it's a little too much. I don't know, like it's too dark and stuff. I don't know. I liked it. That wasn't a good example. But there are some that have negative reviews, and I'm confused about why they say they didn't like it when I'm reading it. Like, that sounds like a good thing, but they didn't like that thing, and that's fine. That's what people do. So I recommend reading the reviews rather than just looking at that score. But it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like I'm gonna really enjoy it, and I'm excited. I hope you guys really like it, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. So, yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you guys next time. Sorry, this is a bit long. But, yeah, leave a like, subscribe, maybe. Do whatever you want. It's your life. See ya.